Hello and welcome to today's race preview here at Dover International Raceway? Whatever the two of it is. This is the 13th race of the NASCAR Sprint Cup season. And this here is the Fedex 400 benefiting Autism Speaks? Yeah. Benefiting Autism Speaks. Let's see what it actually says it is over here. It is Benefiting Autism Speaks. Okay, so last week in Charlotte, for the second week, Martin Truex Jr. dominated by leading the race high 170 something laps, I think, and he came home 5th. Martin Truex Jr. is getting so close to getting a win, and he's second in points, but on the chase grid he's a bit further down. Right, this here is obviously the car that won. Carl Edwards, number 19, in his Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. He's the 9th driver to win for Joe Gibbs in the Sprint Cup Series. Joining the list of Dale Jarrett, Bobby Labonte, Tony Stewart, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, and Matt Kenseth. So, he won on a bit of fuel mileage and strategy and stuff. And, Martin Truex Jr., he was a bit upset about losing again in the same car that he dominated Kansas, and lost to Jimmy Johnson. That was the SpongeBob SquarePants 400. He lost in that too. So they're bringing the same car yet again to Dover to try to win the race. And, that should be interesting to see if he can maybe get his first win of 2015. Another thing is that Jimmy Johnson has 9 wins here at Dover. If he can get a 10th win, he will join the list of only a few drivers to have more than 10 wins. Those drivers being Dale Earnhardt, Richard Petty, Darrell Waltrip, and David Pearson. So, he's trying to get a 10th win. Maybe some point later in his career. I hope he does, but not right now. He's got enough wins in the thing. So, this here is Dover. Starting on the pole is Denny Hamlin, Carl Edwards' teammate. And Martin Truex Jr. starting second. And they both took the pole in the last, few seconds of the race, qualifying. Kyle Larson, starting third, was so close to getting the pole for most of the time. So, my picks, obviously, Jimmy Johnson. I think he has a good shot to get his 10th win at Dover. Jeff Gordon. I think that he has a shot to get his first win of 2015, to bring him to 93 wins. Now, Jeff Gordon doesn't really have any records to go for anymore. The only thing he has to do is if he starts about, I think, the next 15 races, something like that, he'll take the most consecutive starts by any driver. So that should be interesting. Because I think that the most consecutive is 788, and I think he's got 773, so this weekend will be 774. So what, that should be about, by the almost the end of the season, he will have the most consecutive starts and at so that could happen. Drivers to watch. Oh yeah, I also said I also want to say Kevin Harvick. He's got a good shot to win. He's got a different paint scheme, so check that out. It's the Diatech number 4 car, which I did a diecast review of that car a while ago. And 2 drivers to watch out for. I didn't pick them to win, but they do have a good shot also. Obviously, Denny Hamlin on the pole. Martin Truex Jr., same car that he won at, almost won the last 2 races with. So he's got a good shot. And I think Kyle Larson, who I hope wins, even though that's not one of my picks, my favorite driver yet to get a win in the Sprint Cup Series. Watch out for Kyle Larson starting 3rd to do good here at Dover. Now, we haven't really talked about the racing groove yet, if you notice where I've said I've been driving though. The thing about Dover is the bottom is one of the best areas. Now, they've had a lot of racing here. They've had the Camping World Truck Series, did their qualifying, their practice, and their racing. You had the Xfinity Series doing their practice, their qualifying, and their race. And the Sprint Cup practice and qualifying. Sprint Cup is the final thing to go, obviously, on most weekends. It wasn't 2 weeks ago when they had the All-Star race, but then again, that was a different track. So, for these cars here, it's the Sprint Cup Series. So there's a lot of rubber on the track. If you look at the track, in the game, there's no real rubber that gets laid down on the track at all. But if you look at a picture of the track or you watch any of the race, you will see this bottom section right about here. I'm going to slid on and try to really show you the area that's really black and dark from the rubber. So right in this spot right here about, if you see about the distance that this car takes up, that's how much of it's really black, really dark. There's a lot of rubber there. So if that gets heated up, the rubber will start to stick to the tires. So it should make it a bit more interesting to watch. And on the note of being sitting here, actually, yesterday in the Xfinity race, there was a car that was sitting right here, and the back got hit so much that it made the car jump in the air, spin around in the air, and land on the ground. It wasn't like really high in the air, but it still is in the air. So that's part of it right there. So the bottom of the track's going to have a lot of rubber. So in the corners, this is basically going to be the normal groove the drivers are going to want to take. Right here, you're going to go against the wall, you're going to go in the corner, and then you're going to brake. You're going to brake, you're going to run here, you're going to run right against that groove, right against that groove, right against that groove, and up the track. Now this here has got a lot of ups and downs too. Right here, you go down into the corner. Now you can also go up here if you want to. Down into the corner, right? And then you're going to come up here and up out of the corner. Another important thing about this track is that there is banking along the whole entire track. The car is never level, unless of course you go down there, on the apron. Right now my car is still at the side a bit. It's not that much banking, but it still is a bit of banking. This track has what you call a self-cleaning banking. Because if a car wrecks right here, it's most likely that it's going to end up down here. So, you can also run up high. And the final thing that I do want to say is that when the driver who gets to be the control car, that's whoever has the lead, when they get to pick where to restart, they can pick to restart the inside lane, right? So they can either pick the inside lane right there, or they can pick the lane right here. This is the outside lane. So a lot of drivers you're going to see pick this outside lane to do the restart. Because the outside lane has a lot more, like it's better on the start. I'm not sure, maybe there's less rubber on the high side to start. But then they're going to try to clear the car by here and pull down into the front and take the bottom. you can get a better restart, I think, on the high side. The Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, they tried it the whole time. Basically, they were taking that lane. So, this has been the race preview. And one final thing. If you remember a few weeks ago, I had said that if Carlos had won, I'd make an orange car. I said after the video, I'm like, he's probably not going to win until he gets the new game. I didn't say it on camera, because it wasn't really important to the video, but I did say that, and he won the weekend that the game came out. So that's pretty cool. And pit road here is also a bit difficult to get onto, because you got all the banking and all the rubber and all that stuff. So it makes it a very difficult pit road to get onto. So let's see how I can get onto it. Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down. Woo! I made it. Thank you guys for watching this preview. I know it's been a bit longer, but you know, it's definitely fun to do. So there we go. Oh, my fastest run. Wow. Thanks for watching.